It's a very important tournament for Todd, as we know. Now we take a look at the life totals here, and it is currently 3-13 in favor of John Pellman. Diving into this game is where you'll find 2 copies of Wandering Funeral, looking to double block Grim Flare, which I imagine is a 4-4. So there is an exchange there. The follow-up here for Pellman. Right. It's an Emrakul.
Well, we'll find out in a minute.
Yep. And a Hissing Quagmire. Anderson will untap. He'll draw Thing in the Ice. And I think just a couple of lands here. Going to play Evolving Wilds. He is going to miss. He is going to give Pellman the opportunity to take a look at his deck. Pellman fired up Wandering Funeral, ate that, and now Todd's got to draw a really good Magic card. He, I don't think, did. So, they're going to go to game number 3 here, and they're going to have to try to play pretty quick. You see Pellman kind of moving around, Todd doing the same thing because they're trying to look at the clock to see how much time they have to finish. Obviously, a very important match here for both these players.
Yes, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Anderson needs a top 32 finish here to jump Ted Felicetti in the standings for the Players' Championship. Doesn't lock Todd by any means. Todd had a rough start to the tournament, but was able to rip off a 4-0 performance in Modern, win the first round today. He's 6-3 right now, but with very bad tiebreakers. And again, top 32 currently the target.
That is the goal. That's kind of step 1, I would say, is it's got to at least be top 32 here for Anderson. You see how fast these players are shuffling up, so we're going to not take a lot of time to take a look at the sideboards here. The play will be underway, but just knowing the matchup, Grixis control, Blackburn Delirium, there's nothing short about this.
No.
And that's why players are shuffling up very, very quickly, not even going back to their sideboard here for game number 3 to maybe change some things. The draw here is horrible for both players. It's basically the equivalent of a loss, so they're going to get this game underway. And we know that both of them can play pretty quickly, so this should be interesting.
Anderson is no stranger to having to play blue-red spell-based decks very fast.
Wandering Funeral is where Anderson will begin. Hissing Quagmire there for Pellman, so both players with creature lands. Anderson with a Sunken Ruins and a Grim Flare here for John Pellman. Anticipate. I'll show you a couple lands in Unlicensed Disintegration. Smoldering Marshland, Anderson will take, pass the turn back over to Pellman. Pellman is going to get to connect here with the Grim Flare.
Very obvious here that Anderson is missing land drops by main phasing the Anticipate and then immediately putting the Smoldering Marsh he took off of the Anticipate onto the battlefield.
Pellman will leave one of these lands on top. There's a Liliana. It's going to go up to 4, pass the turn back. Anderson will draw. Looks like he found a Jace. Kozak's return will take care of the Grim Flare. Going to pass the turn back over to Pellman. Pellman will draw. Pellman will play a Forest, and now here is a Gonti, Lord of Luxury. Top 4 cards here is what John will get the opportunity to take a look at. He'll get to exile one of these and cast it whenever he'd like. The rest will go on the bottom of Anderson's deck. And we're going to head back over to Todd. Todd will draw. He has missed a land drop yet again here. Might be time to anticipate for a land. And it is. Top 3. There is a land in there. He might have to take the basic, and he will. And now, he'll play Transgress the Mind, get a good look at the grip. Tireless Tracker will bite the dust. Vessel Nascency, Grasp of Darkness, and Hissing Quagmire are the leftover cards.
Well, Pellman way up on the card advantage and tempo game right now. Something down with Gonti, plus Liliana available. I wonder if Pellman's plan here is just to go to the ultimate here, not trying to get back a Mind Rack Demon or anything of the sort. And Anderson's had to tap out to main phase these Anticipate, so his shields have been down the whole time.
Vessel, Quagmire, tick Liliana up to 6, pass the turn back. Painful Truths is aptly named. Anderson will use the basic island to do it.
Yep, blue, red, black.
Going to pay 3 to draw 3. Play an island. Pass the turn back. Top 4 cards here for Pellman. Looks like he'll be taking a Blooming Marsh. Not the best Vessel we've ever seen as he untaps and draws a card. In with Gonti. Anderson's going to fall down to 11. Liliana is up to 7, threatening her ultimate. Anderson will draw. It's an island. Pass the turn. Here comes Gonti. Ooh,
oh, nice.
Hey, summary dismissal. That's an interesting way to do it, but that will do it. Exile other spells and counter all abilities. That will do it. Okay.
It's a short text box, but it's one of the more rulesy ones since maybe even Stifle. I mean, you have to go way back. Time Stop, maybe?
Yeah.
A lot of weird interactions there.
Unlicensed Disintegration will take care of Gonti. Anderson going to pass the turn back. Pellman will take a look at his graveyard. It's going to be Traverse getting countered by Negate. That's a weird, fast-paced game here.
And Todd's kind of doing it.
Sort of. All right, Quagmire in. Anderson's going to fall down to 7. Black Delirium, not a deck that really has a lot of reach. Negate the draw there for Anderson. Is it Jace time? He's just going to pass the turn back. About 6 minutes here for both players. There's Liliana. Probably can't let her resolve. Yep, there's Negate again. Pellman just going to pass the turn back. Anderson, I think it's Glimmer of Genius. Yeah, he finally got the turn off to be able to cast this. Okay. One on top, one on bottom. Draw 1, draw 2. One of them is staying in the ice. I think the other one is a Harness Lightning. Anderson will quickly untap and draw. Spire Bluff Canal. 2 mana. Thing in the ice. Play the canal. Pass the turn back. 4 counters on Thing in the ice. Of course, Grasp of Darkness will take care of that.
And no hesitation from Todd. That's just not a critical asset in this matchup.
Here's Grim Flare. I have to imagine a 4/4 right now. It'd be shocking if it wasn't. Glimmer again, up to 4 energy. Take a look at 2 cards. Void Shatter. Yeah, obviously he's playing fast. He'll draw 1 more from the Glimmer. Untap, draw.
Yeah, that gives him enough energy now where Harness Lightning is a clean answer.
Yep, all right, he's got a million counter spells in hand too. All right, there's Jace, bounce that. Pass the turn back. Pellman will draw. This is Grimflare. Void Shatter will exile that. Is there a big follow-up here for Pellman? Sort of. Gonti.
It's not bad, but if most of the cards down there are, counter sources of card advantage, Todd's got an edge in that sort of game.
Time for Anderson to untap. Under 5 minutes on the clock. Jace will go up, scry to the bottom, draw a card.
You can tell this kind of game is really in Todd's comfort zone.
Well, playing this fast, I can't do this. Here comes Gonti. Your decisions have to be extremely sharp in a short period of time. Wandering Fumarole would like to attempt to block. Grasp of Darkness is going to try to say no. All right, Harness Lightning will take care of Gonti. Potentially. What? Oh, jeez. Summary dismissal. All right. So that'll die. And then I believe Wandering Fumarole should die from the Grasp. Yeah, we'll have to confirm that Wandering Fumarole should be dead from the Grasp, I believe. Oh, Summary Dismissal, I believe, takes care of that, too.
Yeah, if everything was on the stack.
Sure. Gotcha.
Yeah, Pellman needed to announce it differently.
Okay. There's Thing in the Ice. A new plan. Evolving Wilds will be sacrificed, and Todd will just pass the turn back. Gotta be pretty darn good at Magic to play this fast. Here comes Gonti. Todd's gonna try again with Wandering Fumarole.
Todd's got all these decisions of, all right, how am I spending all my mana this turn, next turn, the turn after that, the turn after that. All these lines of play are about mana efficiency over the long stretch. That's very hard to figure out in the time allotted
in
here.
4 seconds?
Right.
Yes. Well, I don't play blue. Here's Murder. Todd's looking at a Void Shatter. All right, that's dead. Gonti's going to bring Anderson down to 3.
Doesn't have to fight over that. You know, he can probably flip over the thing in the ice. He's got another Fumarole to block with next turn, and the counter spells are very precious.
And there's Ruinous Path. Okay. Untap. Quickly draw. Anticipate, I believe.
Transgress, I believe, was the pickup this turn.
My apologies. I was trying to think of what's the easiest way for him to potentially close out this game. He's going to bounce Gonti. Yep, there's well, okay, there's a 1-2 punch.
Combo!
Yeah. Take Liliana. Pass the turn back. Torrential Gearhulk is the card, which we haven't seen yet, that you have to imagine is still in this deck. Pellman does have a Hissing Quagmire down there, actually 2 of them. This is Gonti. Nope. Void Shatter that. I think he wants to leave Hissing Quagmire at the ready. Yes, there's a land. Quag on. And creatures will trade.
Quick block there from Anderson, and he got to spend all of his mana also.
Good turn.
Another really efficient turn.
Jace going up. Scribe 1. To the bottom. Draw a card. Evolving Wild. Sack it right away. Ain't got time to waste. Get a basic island. Anything else this turn? Nope. Pass it back.
Says go while he's shuffling.
Yep.
Todd's pace of play is so crisp right now.
All right, Glimmer of Genius. 1, 2. Torrential. Yeah, Gearhulk's down.
Got it.
1, 2. Can't play it just yet. Untap and draw. Sunken Hollow. Actually, Smoldering Marsh. Scry, bottom, draw card. Kozilek's return. Gearhulk. From the Gonti. All right, Void Shatter that.
I was wondering what was down there.
Yeah,
I was like, it's been a bit.
Yeah. That is time. Turn 0 should be John Pellman. We'll confirm. Make sure turns and time are correct. Anderson will have turns 1, 3, and 5, which is pretty important, I believe. Hissing Quagmire would like to attack. Anderson will play a Torrential Gearhulk. What will he rebuy is the question.
Imagine if he didn't want to get a counter spell, he wants to get a license.
I mean, we're racing.
Yep.
He controls an artifact. That's Torrential Gearhulk, so Pellman's going to fall down to 17. Untap. Turn 1.
And if Pellman gets the opportunity, he's got a chump block right now.
Yes.
He cannot afford for Anderson to draw a removal spell the next turn if he doesn't have one already.
Todd eyeing up that Painful Truths.
Could do it for 2.
A little trip down to 1. How's that sound?
It looks like...
Could use a little fuel.
Looks like Todd might be making his own divination here.
All right. Down to 1. What's more fun? Those lands are not great. Guess you could argue they're out of the way now. Jace, where is that going? Up to 6. Scry 1 wants that one.
Oh,
Disintegration's pretty good.
Unless this disintegration is critical here, because now the clock is 3 turns. It was 4 before. Now he's got him in range to be able to win inside of turns.
Down to 9. Turn 2. Looking at a Kozilek's return.
He needed to come up with another 5 points from somewhere, and those 2 unlicensed disintegrations give him 6.
No, he's got lands. Don't know if he has counters. 5 mana. Obnixilis in there. Gonna take care of Torrential Gearhulk. That's a big play there from Pellman. Anderson will draw. He's gonna tick up Jace. Scry to the bottom, draw a card, will Anderson.
And
I think he might be out of gas now.
7 lands in hand, I believe.
Yep. Turn 4. There's a Transgress the Mind. Yeah, it's all lands in a Kozilek's return that's going to get exiled. Obnixilis is going to go up, which means Pellman's going to fall a little bit lower. And this will be turn 5 of extra turns here, folks. So Anderson will draw Jace is going to go up. It'll be a negate. Painful truth. This is awkward as can be. And looks like it's going to be a draw here for these two players. So they made a go of it. They tried to get it done, but it doesn't look like they were able to. So it looks like John Pellman and Todd Anderson will draw at this stage, but an entertaining game nonetheless.
Very entertaining, and that's a painful one there for Anderson, who played a very crisp game there, was missing land drops early on. Looked like he had turned the corner. I mean, the speed of the play and the efficiency of the play over those several turns there was really impressive.